Greetings, citizens of Earth. My people have developed technologies which allow us to throw off our physical forms and travel great distances in the blink of an eye. We are in dialogue with your leaders to help the human race survive its infancy, for we believe in you. We are helping your scientists find cures for diseases which afflict your bodies, and helping you to preserve your planet's most precious resources. Many among us wage peace, and one day, with our help, war may be a thing of the past. Our army is 1 billion strong and growing. We are the people of the internet, and together, we are shaping the future of humankind.
Love them, hate them, or fear them. Whatever your stance on aliens, one thing is certain. They've captured the imagination of adults, children and filmmakers across this planet, most recently with the blockbuster Avatar. But the big question remains, are they real? Is there a Pandora out there somewhere amongst the stars?
It sounds like science fiction, but quite often these days what sounded like science fiction actually turns out to be the kernel of a very interesting scientific idea.
Cambridge University Professor Simon Morris spoke at a London conference on the possibility of extraterrestrial life. He says our ability to see deeper into space and the recent discovery of new planets have given the debate new life.
Now that we know there are so many Earth-like planets out there, then in principle I would suggest there should be many, many extraterrestrial civilizations.
Rancher W.W. Brazell was the man who discovered the saucer.
If reports of UFO sightings are to be believed, the Earth's atmosphere is positively bustling with extraterrestrial crafts. The so-called Roswell incident is probably the most famous. More than 60 years later, UFO buffs still flock to the spot where they believe a flying saucer crash landed. But for physicist Paul Davies, the truth is not so much out there as right here.
We could look right here on Earth for evidence that life has started many times. It would be very weird if life started twice on Earth and never anywhere else.
So if the universe really is teeming with life, what should we do? Hang out the planetary welcome mat?
If we pick up the telephone from the extraterrestrial, we put it down straight away.
Why?
A group gathering here in Washington to talk about their UFO sightings, but this apparently is no crackpot convention. Former high-level government and military officials are among those sharing what they've seen in the sky.
See or hear very often. Former Air Force officers held a press conference today in Washington, D.C. Over 120 retired military personnel warn of a quote-unquote ongoing and alarming intervention by unidentified, get this, aerial objects at nuclear weapons sites. Well, who else but RT Cedric Moon was there, and he brings us the story.
Perhaps few things say normal or routine more than a daily dose of coffee, a cup of calm in what can on any day be out of the ordinary. Out of the ordinary, like a nuclear holocaust out of the ordinary. Let's say there's an attack from where doesn't matter. It could be North Korea, Iran, Pakistan. If that were to happen, nuclear payback wouldn't happen. That's a claim made by the men in this room.
Our missiles began going into what's called a no-go condition or unlaunchable. Essentially, they were disabled.
Detailed in this report, full of court-sanctioned sworn affidavits.
The witnesses have described these craft as disc-shaped, or cylindrical-shaped, or spherical.
If you think what's being said inside this building is completely ridiculous, you might want to consider something.
My name's Robert Hastings. Thank you for coming.
These are men who might know what may have gone on. They're former Air Force missile launch officers, missile base officers, who say UFO spaceships, flying saucers, make nuclear weapon systems go haywire.
In 1966, according to a launch officer, David Schur, his missiles were temporarily activated just as his security guard was reporting a bright object moving from missile to missile to missile.
10, 9, 8.
And it's not just in the United States. Also, in Russia.
2, 1.
Like a 1982 incident that happened in then Soviet Ukraine.
Given the fact that these incidents have gone on over there, including one incident of their missiles being temporarily activated when a UFO was hovering above the missile base, identical to what occurred here, I think we can rule out that whoever are piloting these craft are either
A strange
American.
spiralling white light was spotted in the early morning sky over Sydney, with even sceptical witnesses wondering if it was a UFO. The unusual sight was recorded by hundreds of people from Victoria north to Queensland.
In China's skies forced Zhoushan Airport to stop operations on July 7th. Outbound flights were grounded after the unidentified flying object was detected by a flight crew. The incident has captured the attention of Chinese media, and theories about the UFO's identity are burning up on the internet as well.
And now, some fresh pickings from the political grapevine. There is another group pushing for the release of more secret documents, and it too is threatening a pressure campaign against the administration if it does not get its way. The group, UFOologists. They want President Obama to come clean about alleged government contact
New York
with
City, a sighting that had even jaded New Yorkers scratching their heads. A mysterious silver shiny object, or objects it seems, floating in the sky yesterday. You could see all the people stopped in the street there in their tracks looking at it. Some folks say they saw lights. Others were maybe waiting for little green men to arrive.
I don't know.
You don't want to say
I'm
it.
looking for the mothership.
When I got this assignment, I thought for sure somebody in the newsroom was joking, and it wasn't until we pulled up to this corner and saw the passersby looking up that we realized that, okay, maybe there is something in the sky
Another strange
today.
sighting has a lot of people talking in Arizona. It's not the first time mysterious lights have been spotted hovering the night sky there, but this time we have pictures. And joining us now is reporter Brad Drenning, who witnessed the whole thing and took some incredible pictures, and it's the most viewed video ever on our user-generated community website.
We may never discover the famous alien ET, but it may surprise a lot of you. It did certainly surprise a lot of us. The Vatican is looking to the heavens for signs of life.
Yes, David. 400 years after the church locked up Galileo for challenging the view that the Earth was the center of the universe, the Catholic Church is exploring if life exists elsewhere in the universe. And astronomers, physicists, and priests are in Rome this week to debate the age-old question if we are, or are we, really alone. And Dan Gilgoff covers religion for U.S. News and World Report. Dan, early this morning, 8 o'clock, David and I are all happy about this story. This is our story. We love this one. Dan, by the way, is the author of The Jesus Machine. So, you know, so many times the Catholic Church especially, and religion in general, is seen as being behind the times. It seems like a very progressive conversation to be having. What are they really looking at here?
It is. You know, the church has come a long way. As David mentioned, you know, they locked up Galileo. Before Galileo, about 35 years prior, there was actually an Italian philosopher who was burned at the stake for suggesting that there was extraterrestrial life. Now, here we are, 400 years later. Yeah. And the church is inviting these same exact folks, this guy, the same type who was burned at the stake, to the Vatican for this conference.
Is getting ready for a contact with aliens from outer space. This is Moslin Offman. She's out of Malaysia. She will be planet Earth's first interstellar diplomat.
Greetings, citizens of Earth. My people have developed technologies which allow us to throw off our physical forms and travel great distances in the blink of an eye. We are in dialogue with your leaders to help the human race survive its infancy, for we believe in you.